Hey guys, it's Ben, and today I'm going to be attempting doing a live solve of the blue Hack the Box challenge. So this is one of TJ Null's Hack the Box VM list for OSCP preparation. It's one of the Windows ones. The legacy one, I'm pretty sure I've searched it before. I'm not legacy. Is this one here? Yeah, I couldn't find the legacy one, so I've gone one down, done the blue one. I've got the box started, so let's begin. Let's get a nice terminal set up, and I'll zoom these in. There we go, like so. I'm going to make directories mmap recon exploits. I'm going to start off with an mmap scan, just going to do a quick mmap scan, tac T4 for a faster scan. I'm going to out this to mmap fast tcp.txt, and we'll see what we find with that. After I've done this quick nmap scan, I'm going to do a more thorough one, covering all the ports. But this is just one to get us some ports to work with and to investigate. So it looks like it's scanning, and we can see a good few ports here. What I'll do is now do a full one. So tac p, yeah, I'll just do that. Full TCP. And then ports which are interesting me at the moment are these SMB ports. The MSRPC port we could obviously enumerate, but the SMB ones are definitely what's caught my eye. What I'll do is do mmap tac p, and then I'll specify just 135, 139, 445. I'm not going to worry with these other ports here. I'm going to do tac sv, tac o, tac sc for default scripts. I'm going to mmap thorough tcp.txt, like so. I need to be sudo for that. Sudo. There we go. And I didn't supply a host. There we go. I'll let that do its thing. Out of interest, our mmap scan will tell us this, but let's make directories SMB so we can do some SMB recon here. I just want to see, is guest authentication allowed? Is null sessions allowed? Tac n, and I'll just check this, and it looks like there are. What I am going to do before I get into the challenge, I'm going to edit my host file just to add this one here. I'll just put it down here. Tab and then blue.hat the box, like so. So now I can just specify blue. So our mmap NSE scripts have come back. Yeah, we already figured out that guest authentication, no authentication is allowed. It's using Windows 7, so if we've got access here, right, there's a good chance we'll be able to use Eternal Blue, and it's also indicated in the title of this challenge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what permissions we have. I'm going to also write this to SMB, this to SMB client.log, SMB client shares.log, and we'll just get this written down somewhere. I'm also going to do SMB map. Sometimes I find this is a bit unreliable, but we'll see if this works now. And this will tell us a bit more of the permissions, which ones have read write, etc. T SMB map.log. Let's see if this works. It doesn't look like it. What about if I just supply the IP? I'll probably get the same message. And what about if I use guest credentials? Oh, guest. Okay, so I actually used the guest user account. That does work. So we can see we've only got read-only access on shares and users. We've got no access to the IPC, C, or admin share. So we can read this share. We can sort of, what I'll do is I'll cat out SMB map.log. I'll go over here, clear this out, and I'll actually connect to these shares individually and see what we can find out from them. at the box, and we've got this user share. So the Null authentication should do it. Let's see if we can connect to here. I didn't mean to do the TACL for the list. There we go. There we go. So this sort of looks like it's like the users folder in Windows. There's the different user accounts. There's this default one. There's this public one. So I'm just going to get all of this. Desk.ini. I'm going to cd into public. I'm going to cd into desktop. Doesn't look like there's a desktop. Cd into documents. And I'm just going to get this again. I'm not too sure what's in these. Desktop.ini. Hopefully, I just want to see, will this... Yeah, let's just move this. Actually, no. Yeah, let's cd into recon, SMP. I wasn't really thinking. I'll go back in here again. So if we cd into let's just get each one desktop.ini. I didn't mean to do cd. I was just going to do get. cd into public. Just want to see if there's any interesting stuff in here. cd into downloads. There may not be any. There just seems to be this desktop.ini file. I am going to quickly investigate this. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same on each. So, localized resource name. I'm not too sure what that is. Let's just go back into here and investigate the other file we didn't, unless we didn't investigate this default one, cd default. Okay, and we've got a lot more here. So we can cd into desktop again, and nothing in there. Cd into documents, nothing in there. There's these .dat files, which are they like the when you no, they're not. Never mind. I'm gonna leave this. There's a lot of information there. I'm not going to go into it. It may be useful. What I'll do is I'll investigate this other share and see if there's anything which stands out. There's nothing in this share one. Okay. Exit. Maybe there is useful information in here and I'm just missing it. cd into default. So actually, we can see all of these have got 0 bytes. In that cd into app data, does this contain any interesting information? cd into local. I don't think there may be stuff in there, but I don't want to get too absorbed with it. I am going to get this get nt user.dat if I can. This may, I don't know if it contains any credentials. .nt user.dat. Okay. And this may be full of junk, but let's see if we can, yeah, it is. And let's just see if there's any useful stuff in here which possibly could help us. I don't think there is. Okay, that's fine. Let's try some exploitation. Let's actually see if it would be possible. I'm not sure, as we have got no write access, if we can even upload a reverse shell or anything, but we can try this. Let's search exploit. This is the actual exploit which I'm going to be using, but just for example, I'm going to say search exploit eternal blue, and there's this one in the middle here, 42315. I've used this before and it's fairly reliable and it doesn't really crash the program, so crash the OS. So let's just download this. Sorry, TAC I'm not having much luck here, am I? 4231, like so. We do need to change some stuff. We don't have any credentials, so we can see if we can first use it with null credentials. I am going to have to set up a virtual environment because I do not use Python 2 as my default Python interpreter, so I'll just get a Python 2 environment going so I can install in packet. So cd into bin, source activate. Pip 2.7 install packet. Clear. So if I go back, if you try run this at the moment, Python 2.7 4.2, it will tell us there's no module named mysmb. You can also just go up, say mysmb, and this GitHub repository has it. Or I've already got it in my box, so I'm just going to get locate mysmb. And this one here, I'm just going to take. So I'm going to copy this into here. We've got the mysmb file now, so we should be able to run this. I'm going to move 4.2 into the different name just so it's a bit more readable. The other map scan came back and they're basically the same. They found the same ports. So we can run this Python 2.7 ms17 like so. It'll tell us the syntax. The IP which we're going to be using, or the host name, is going to be blue.hatthebox, and this will tell us if we're able to do it. So no found accessible pipe. So we can try find one. I know MSF console. If we search for pipe auditor U0, this may be able to find us some pipes. So show options, set our hosts blue.hatthebox, run, show advanced options, because there may be a share it uses. It may use like a default share of IPC or something. Okay, let's see if we can change around this suball ms17. We may need to change this. Just close some of my previous notes here. Username, let's see if we use this guess one right, because I know that was a bit different. Does this often not work? Also not work. Okay, so it found a pipe, and so it was able to get some execution. So the issue was not using just the null session. We should have used that guest session, that guest credentials. So now we know that we can generate a reverse shell. I am gonna cd, I'll cd out of here into exploits, like so. I'm gonna generate a basic reverse shell, just Windows shell reverse TCP lhost. That's gonna be this 10.10.16.8. The port I'll listen on, I'll be 444. The file is an exe. I'll output this as shell.exe. This should generate a shell. How I'm actually going to get the shell in the box, because at the moment, if you look at this POC, right, it only writes this file. If you go down to the actual part here, SMB pwn, you can run service execute to run remote commands. You could try perhaps setting up a Python HTTP server or a HTTP server to download the reverse shell onto your box, or, which I found to be fairly simple before, is to set up an SMB server and then call the download the file, or execute the file at least, from the SMB server on the box. So I'll get a reverse listener going, NVLP on port 444. I'll just leave that in the background. What I'll do is I'll set up an SMB server, so smbserver.py I think it is. The share name, let's just call this blue, and the directory I want to host the files of the share is going to be here. So I've set up an SMB server. If I just mmap localhost now, we can see there's port 445. I've got an SMB server. If I wanted to, I could do SMB client, tac list, localhost, no authentication, and we can see there's that blue share I set up. So now if I edit this POC to actually just straight execute this from the SMB server, I'll put my IP here, 10.10.16.8. The executable I want to, or the share I want to access is blue, and the executable I want to access is shell.exe. I think that's what I called it, right? That is what I called it. Yeah, shell.exe. So let's save this, let's run this, and let's see if now, we should notice we get like a connection on here if it works. I've noticed it may take a few times to run. Yeah, we got a connection, and it says Harris PC authenticated successfully. So it looks like it got a connection and then it died. But I've had this before, and I just need to run it again, and it seems to work. So we'll try again. Oh, there we go. It's working. Nice. So we can say dirt. Oh, I'm in system 32. That's not nice. Let's just say who am I? And I am running this entity authority system. I don't even need to privilege escalate. Let's just we should have a users folder, or the pwned. Oh, that's what I uploaded originally. So I can just cd into users, cd into Harris, cd into desktop, cat out user.txt. I always make this mistake. Too used to working in Linux. Type user.txt. And where's my flag board? I'll supply this here. Submit flag. There we go. Like so. And it should be easy enough. Just going to the administrator, cd into desktop there, and typing out the root.txt and getting both of those flags. And yeah, that's about it. This is our challenge done. We've got both flags. I hope you've enjoyed.